So mythology has been used politically in all sorts of ways. It's been used politically in rather unfortunate ways in India today. So the story in the Ramayana is that when Rama killed Ravana, he did so with the help of an army of magical monkeys. And Ravana had stolen Sita away to an island off the coast of India, which was called Lanka, which is identified nowadays with the present Sri Lanka, but in fact is just a magical island. But in any case, it was an island. And in order to get to that island, the monkeys had to build a bridge or a causeway from the Indian mainland to the island. And the monkeys crossed over, and the armies crossed over, and they got to Ravana's palace, and they killed Ravana and brought Sita back. And that's an old story. Well, in real life, in India about 10 years ago, there was a problem with shipping. If you go from Calcutta down around the coast of India, you have to go around Sri Lanka to get up the other side to Bombay. But there is a channel between India and Sri Lanka where ships can't go because it's very shallow. And the government of India wanted to dig a deep canal so that the shipping could go there. They would save gallons and gallons of precious oil and days' work and so forth. It would be a very good thing. But a lot of Hindus who really believe literally in the Ramayana, they said if you cut through that channel, you'll cut across the bridge that the monkeys built for Rama. You can't do that. And the government said, come on, get real. And there were demonstrations all over India, and that canal has never been built. So these mythical stories, which are so charming, have real effects in the real live world, and this was one. There's another story of this kind, which I need to tell you. Here's the history of it. One of the first and greatest of all the Mughal emperors of India, King Babur, one of the founders of the Mughal dynasty in the late Middle Ages, built a spectacular mosque in the city of Ayodhya, which is sort of north of Delhi. It's one of the oldest mosques in India. And these Hindus of a particular devout sect of Hindus, not all Hindus, but this one group of Hindus, a big group, believed that the Emperor Babur had torn down a temple on that spot in order to build his mosque. And that temple stood on the spot where the god Rama had been born. Now, the god Rama is a character in a story. He's like Adam. He's not even like, for instance, Moses, who's part of ancient Jewish history, let alone like Caesar. He's a mythical character. He's not like Jesus. He is a made-up character in a story, and therefore he wasn't born anywhere in India. The story says he was born in Ayodhya. Believing that the Emperor Babur had torn down a Hindu temple to build his mosque, these Hindus stormed the great mosque of Babur in Ayodhya and tore it down. There were riots. Thousands of Muslims lost their life in that battle and in other riots that sort of sprung up in echoes all over India. And the relationship between Hindus and Muslims has never been righted ever since. There's a serious anti-Muslim agenda which is making it very dangerous for Muslims to live in India. So there's where mythology, I wouldn't say causes these problems, but is used in the service of these political problems. And it pains me to see these stories, which are, I love the Ramayana. I love the story of Rama and Ravana. And it's terrible to see it used as a tool to kill people with. There are, on the other hand, some good things that are also happening in India today under the present government. And that is, serious attempts have been made with increasing success to improve the lots of the lowest of the castes, these people called untouchables in the past, called Dalits now. This began a little bit under the British, and it began much more when India won its independence in 1948. Laws were put in place promising these Dalits places in university, places in government. At first, when they tried to take their places, they were murdered by Brahmin gangs, but they were protected. Now there are many Dalits in positions in government, in positions in education in India. So the Kali Age is never entirely the Kali Age. There are good things happening as well as bad things. But in both cases, there are mythologies used to further political causes. And as a mythologist, I'm glad that there are so many people in India today who remember the old stories and who still tell them. They publish them in books. They act them out on television. The ancient mythologies are still very much alive and well in India. I still feel that the stories are the heart of Hinduism. They're the things that have lasted for thousands of years. The political histories come and go, the kings come and go, the political theories come and go, but the stories are what the people always go back to. And I think also the stories are probably the best way for someone who doesn't know much about Hinduism to begin.